Good morning. Today is Friday the 24th. Happy weekend. I just wanted to do a reading with you. Today is breathing into your feet to ground yourself and nourish. And by the way, today I'm wearing red to support Nova Scotia. As we breathe, we draw oxygen into our cells. We nourish our entire body, all the way down to our feet. In this way, with each breath, we ground ourselves to the earth. Remember this as you move through your day today. Periodically stop and take a deep inhale. Invite the breath to move all the way down to the soles of your feet. Connect with the ground beneath you and remind yourself that your breath affects your entire body. Each time you inhale, you steady and nourish yourself. So I thought that was a nice reading. We talk about grounding a lot in yoga, and you don't even need to take a full yoga practice to do that. You can we talk about grounding, whether it's visual. I might look for, say, the color red today as a touch point to Nova Scotia. I might find a sound in the midst of the chaos, especially if you're standing in line somewhere. So we're going to do a bit of work today involving quads. We've had a lot of people talk about tight quads, engaging the quads, because sometimes even just engaging a muscle group and bringing blood flow to it, it's a mindfulness exercise, but it's also helping wake up this area. And the other piece is we'll come back to the bird dog and doing a variation of that. So I'm going to come into my back and reclined restorative. We're going to just take a few breaths here. Arms by your side, palms turned up. Notice how it feels, that idea of grounding. I'm going to think of the hardness of my tailbone pressing into the floor. Then continuing up my spine, if you notice a deep arc and your back is quite far away from the mat, squeeze in your belly, clench your belly, and press your lower back down into the floor. What you may notice is a little tilting, tuck tilt of the pelvis. And we often will do this as a lying down cat-cow. Maybe we'll take our hands even to our hips to do this. Engage your core, press the lower back down. Come back to neutral. Engage your core, press the lower back down. And relax to neutral. And notice that curve that comes back. Big breath in. Engage your core, press your back down. There's the tucking. We call that cat when we're on the floor, and release. And I'm going to exaggerate a couple times, pressing into the floor as I breathe out. Cat, engage, engage. Exaggerate the curve for cow, cat, cow. And I'm just going to take this shirt off so you can see my spine better. So today I'm wearing a shirt from a lady that I'd hoped to do a trunk show with you guys. It says Choose Love. She does a lot of trips to India, and she makes these really beautiful dresses with different women's co-ops out of recycled sari. So I'm looking forward to getting one of those for the summer. So continue this tuck, tilt, cat, cow, cat, cow. And I'm going to start to exaggerate it a little more. Engage the glutes as you do it. As I engage my glutes into cat, I'm going to start to lift my bum a little, tiny bridge, and lower back down. Tuck, tilt, tuck, tilt. Now I'm going to take my knees into my chest, rocking side to side circles. I want you to massage your back first thing in the morning. One direction then the other. And then let's take our feet to the mat once more. We haven't done this stretch in a while. I'm going to take my feet, walk them as wide as the mat, arms to a T, palms are turned up, and just gently back and forth, windshield wiper. Notice how your hips, thighs, and knees respond to this. I always notice a different tinge in my non-dominant knee versus my dominant knee. If I get that twinge, I'm going to listen to my body and not go as deep. So the next time my knees are to the right, I'm going to look to the left. I feel a deep stretch down that left hip all the way down to my left knee and back to center. Knees to the left, you look to the right. Deep stretch down the right side of the body from the right knee up through. You could even take it arms overhead, so whichever feels better. Arms overhead, windshield wiper, or arms to a T, windshield wiper. And sometimes I'll even do just the legs, not involve the stretch. One more piece I can do on here. Feet are as wide as the mat. Knees and thighs touch together in the center. I can feel, this is a deep internal rotation of our hips. I can feel twinges in my left foot, ankle, thigh, hip. We haven't done this pose in a while. In a lot of our bodies, it's easy to externally rotate our hips, but this internal rotation is a little tighter. And so I might massage my hip flexors and then come back to neutral. Left leg in, right leg in, little boat again. Circles or egg beaters. Pull the legs wide for a moment. Continue to check in with your hips and any tension that's in the body. I'm grounding it through my inhale, and as I exhale, pressing the lower back and tailbone down. And this dance that happens in our body, we search out that soft release of a stretch, but you also want to be mindful of any tension or resistance, that yin-yang, black-white. Tight, soft. Let's bring our knees back together. Take them all the way to the left, 1 inch above the floor. Arms can be 45 or interlaced behind your head. And then slowly back to center. Flex the feet, press the thighs, thighs, arches, calves together and tilt over to the right. And I can see what a difference. One side is way tighter than the other. So let's go with this. To the left, to the right. I could also come into cactus. I want to start to challenge myself by bringing the knees lower, and I can feel resistance down the opposite side of my body. This is like a more intense version of bringing ourselves out. Back and forth. Finding this place where, again, it's that contrast, ease, effortless ease, and resistance. What this tells me is we need to do more stuff with our lower back next week. Let's take our knees to the floor on the left, double leg spinal twist. Let's look down at the knees, line them up, then release your right arm. I see a huge gap underneath my right shoulder, so I want to work with that. So I'm going to keep focusing on these knees staying stacked, lay out my right arm, and then wait for gravity, which is going to have to stretch my pecs and my back body. I took an allergy pill. I promise I'm not going to touch my face. With each exhale, can you will your body to let go? That gap is huge here today. This tells me that we need to be doing this therapeutic every day again. I tried to mix it up. I tried to break out of my samskaras, but it looks like there's a reason we do what we do in our morning practice. The beginning of our practice. So my knees are almost still stacked. They've shifted a little. My shoulder is about half an inch off the floor. I would like it to come down without losing this alignment. You have time now. If you want to take your time and really enjoy this one particular stretch, you bring your arm on a diagonal. You could turn it palm down. It might help a bit. You could stay here for 10 minutes and pause me. Otherwise, we'll come back to center, little boat or circles. Let's do the other side. Knees to chest. Take those knees together over to the floor on the right. I'm going to make sure they're stacked. Then I'm going to lay this left shoulder down. Instantly, I see the tension. My arm does not want to go down. You know I normally love that shoulder down. So maybe I'll turn my palm down. I'm going to keep my eyes on the knees. Feet are flexed. Eventually release the weight of that arm. Tune into the resistance that's happening down the left side of your body. Finally, there's the surrender I'm looking for on the left side of my body, but it doesn't want to fully go, and I've not been able to keep these knees aligned. So that's my work today, to come back to this pose. Back to center, little boat or circles. Now I'm going to pull right leg in, drop the left foot, Take a moment squaring off the hips and the shoulders and draw that right thigh into your belly. Hands are on the shin or behind the thigh, whatever feels better. We'll take a few breaths here. And then slide the left leg straight. And once more, please notice and tune into any hesitation in your body. This is a pose that's familiar to you from our practice, and yet there might be parts of your body that don't want to do this, even though your muscles have a memory. I personally love this, so I could stay here forever pulling this leg in. I'm going to add the spinal twist. Left hand to right knee, shoulders stay down, take the knee over. Notice any resistance. Right arm extended, palm up. And this time, instead of my knees being in alignment, I want my shoulder girdle alignment. So I might take my arms to a T, palms turned up, pressing those nails into the floor, and now the wringing out is happening in my belly and my upper back. Back to center, little boat circles. Let's take our left leg in, right foot can drop to the mat, pull that in. Choosing to stay here or slide the right leg straight. Sometimes it feels like coming home to your body when you return to a pose that your body knows how good you're going to feel in it, so we search for that stretch. And it's hard to find a fine line between autopilot and the comfort of familiarity. And that's why once in a while, even if you know the pose, what we're doing next, listen to my cues with a fresh mind as if you've never been in this pose before. And then right hand takes left knee over, single leg spinal twist. Keeping that shoulder down, palm turned up or both arms to a T. Continue to notice the sweetness of your pose as well as the resistance in your body. Back to center, little boat or circles. Feet in the air, or let's point and flex. Notice the tension as well as the ease. Become familiar with your legs today. Fan the toes. Roll out your ankles, fist with your feet. Let's keep our right leg in the air, left leg lower. Actually, sorry, both leg in the air, squeeze and release first. I want to give yourself a little massage. And then help your legs widen and come to whatever your natural range of motion stretch is first. So I'm going to point and flex, roll up my ankles here, squeeze and release inner thighs. Then I'm going to close my legs. So when we do the stretch today, we're not going to use the strap. I want this to be about muscular engagement of the quads and strengthening the hips. So bringing everything to center. Stabilizing is another word we use. I'm going to flex the left leg. And actually, let's put our hands on our hips and slowly lower. Both feet are flexed, belly's engaged. How slowly can you go to lower this leg? And let's keep our left heel off the floor, 2 breaths. Arms to a T or interlace behind your head. Right foot is in the air, both legs are flexed, and I feel all the core muscles turning on. Finally releasing the weight of that left leg to the floor. Let your hips square off. And we'll take 2 breaths with our right foot extended in the air. Option to start taking it out 1 or 2 inches, almost like the arm of a clock. Engage. A little bit wider. Engage. Squeeze your bum to center. And keep going. So some of you love this. I know Liz, I think Cheryl. That intense muscular awakening. It's especially beneficial for my friends who I know are flexible, loosey-goosey. We still need that contrast. If I'm stretchy, loosey-goosey, it's actually more important that I work on stabilizing my hips and my shoulders. And then engage your core as you slowly bring that leg back up to the sky. Let's do the opposite. We'll go across the midline. Arms to a T, palms turned up, pressing the nails to the floor, engage your core, and slowly take that leg over. So I can go part way and pause, or I can go all the way over and hover a foot above the mat and turn and look to my right hand. There's that deep bringing out. And back to center, little boat. Oh, there's some in my eye. Feet in the air once more, flex. Right leg lowers all the way down, stopping 1 inch above the floor. Hover, flex, squeeze your thighs and glutes to center, even though we're kind of hanging out here. And notice that relationship between core, embrace your core, and engage your legs. They're all working together to keep you in the air. Finally, releasing right leg to the floor. Flex left foot. Let's take it 1 or 2 inches to the left. And experiment. What feels better? Arms to a T, cactus, or interlaced behind your head. Notice the resistance. Finally, I'm going to hit a place without tipping my right hip. There's my spot. This is my dominant leg, so there's a different experience on this side than on my right. Engage, squeeze the bum to center, and then just as slowly, mindfully bring that leg back up. 1 inch to the right. Pause. Option to go a little further or all the way over, flexed and hovering a foot above the mat. Maybe your head turns to the left as your leg is falling towards the right. Back to center, little thighs to chest, little boat. And we'll do a quick shoelace for our hips. So thighs into our chest, right leg over left. Line up the knees and thighs on hands on opposite knees, pulling those thighs into your belly. Take a pause here, notice what's happening in that right glute. Option to walk your hands down the legs. Choosing to stay here or flex the feet, pulling them in a little deeper. And then release, shake it out, and we'll do the other side. Thighs to chest, left over right, hands on opposite knees, pull the thighs in. Option to walk your hands down the shins and ankles. Option to hold your flexed feet. Release and shake it out. And we'll roll into a ball on our right. Take a pause here, fetal position. And then we'll push ourselves upright, coming into tabletop. Palms under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Look down at your hands, maybe as if you've never done this pose before. You're going to press the squareness of your palm down. You're light in the fingers are spread, almost like you're giving someone a high five. And then we're going to press the finger pads down to the mat. You may notice a connection. When I press my finger pads down, my knuckles are slightly curved, they're domed. So I'm not compressing, dumping down on my hand. I notice many other muscles happening up inside my arm. I love that interconnectivity. So I'm going to keep pressing. Then you want to engage your core as you tilt your bum in the air. So we keep going back to muscular engagement for the physical benefits, but also keeps my mind present. And then slowly turn it into cat. Tail drops, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Back and forth. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Cow. Cat. Now I want to do a quick bird dog to kind of engage our glutes and our core as well as our thighs. So let's keep left hand, right knee down. step back, left toes, right arm reaches forward, flex. Everything's flexed. Engage the core, and look back, my left toes are pointing down, and reach. Squeezing everything to center, so I'm pressing to an imaginary line that's not there. My head is in line with my spine, and my bicep is beside my ears. So engage, squeeze, lengthen, all the energy moving in several directions. Undo, child's pose. And then back to tabletop. This time, right hand, left knee, stay down. Right foot steps back. Left arm reaches. Flex. Squeeze your thighs together. Engage and lengthen. Fern and Yana, I believe today's class is for you guys. Core and thigh. Squeeze, lengthen. I really want you to be present, looking for the sensations of engaged muscle more than what you think the shape should look like. Undo, child's pose. And then back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, hop to forward fold. Knees are bent, let your head go. Arm to the side, rise. Exhale, fold. Let's do some sun salutations. Half back, fold, plant, knees. Slowly lower your heart between your hands. Sleeping cobra. Pressing the tops of my feet down, press the palm down and lift your chest, baby cobra. Tuck your toes, dog. Pedaling your dog. Right foot forward, left knee back, low lunge. Here's where we have a choice. Keep it low, or if you want the focus and muscular effort, tuck and rise. Eyes open or closed. Hands release, feet together, fold. Rise, heart center. Inhaling up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant, knees, heart between your hands, sleeping cobra. Choose your back bend, baby cobra, a little bit higher, tuck your toes, dog. Pedaling your dog. Left foot forward, right knee back, low lunge. So I might stay low, squeezing to that imaginary beach ball in the center, or tuck and rise, waking up my legs, or close my eyes, working on my proprioception and balance. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant, knees, heart between your hands, sleeping cobra. Pick up your head, baby cobra. Tuck and press into dog. Right foot forward, left foot back, high lunge. So I may come here, I may bring the arms forward and reach up, or I might come all the way up. It all depends on what experience you're looking for. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. Last side. Inhaling up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant, knees, heart between your hands, sleeping cobra, 2 breaths. Now I want to intensify it. Tops of my feet pressed down, thighs together, bum engaged. Pick up my face, baby cobra, or come into up dog. Down dog, left foot forward, right foot back, high lunge. So I can just stay in airplane, rise on a diagonal, or come all the way up. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, and heart center. So, let's do a quick pose while we're here. We're going to do some leg focus today. Standing forward splits, I'm only using it to kind of wake up the back of your leg. Totally different than the quad we will be working on. So I'm going to take my blocks to the mat or my hands, doesn't really matter. Shifting my weight onto my right foot. I may lean forward and just do this. Maybe this is it. If I have my blocks, I might stay here. I might keep my left foot lower down and focus on this right leg. So I'm gonna press that foot down and immediately feel my glute, thigh, calf wake up. Option to fold in, option to walk in, option to turn it into a balance pose, cupping both one or both hands to that heel. And then come on out, squat. Let's do the other side. This is just to warm up the joints. Okay. Left foot's down, palms land, or you're tented on the floor. You decide. Fold in, so I might dangle. I might go in deeper. Flex. I might play with the balance piece. Left hand cup my leg, tented right hands, or both hands and fold in. Each experience will be different. And maybe one of those versions will be your homework this weekend if you like a challenge. And then I'm going to take my blocks. I'm either going to come into a squat with or without the blocks. And open attention. So let's do a pose we do on the floor. You don't have to have the blocks. What you could do is to test your balance, your focus. I've got this book. I could put anything on there really. So I'm going to come into my posture. I'm starting my right side. Head is in my hands. Feet are flexed. My left foot is lifted just enough off my right foot. It's almost like I have a ball between there. And this is going to be interesting. What can I do with this balance? So this is keeping alignment into consideration. If I didn't have my feet aligned, this book would have fallen off by now. And some of us, to challenge ourselves, might keep the torso upright, but you're moving the leg forward and back. And I can feel that's just about to drop. I'm going to demo without it so I don't keep distracting you. Flex, leg can come forward, keep the torso in place, and immediately I feel that glute, talked about glute engagement, and come all the way back. I also know that the more steady I can keep my quad within this hip, I'm stabilizing my hips, and then relax. Oh, you could do side child's pose, and then come back. Let's add another piece. Feet are flexed. Left leg rises. This is where I call this my chopsticks. Left hand tented in front, right foot rises. Engage your core, stabilize. Imagine you're holding a donut or a dumpling or something between your feet. Some of you like to add hands free, so I'm going to bring right arm off the mat, left arm off the mat. Flex and relax. And you could come in and out of this pulse. Flex and relax, flex and relax. I'm not going to go too far. And then soften. You can just relax in this shape or come into a side child's pose. And then upright. One more piece while we're here. Left foot could bend in front of my right leg. Flex the right leg. How high can I bring it up? This leg is in front of me. This is super intense. I'm trying to keep the knees stacked. Flex. Oh, I immediately feel this in my left hip and glute. This is for my friends who are sitting all day, and you could, if you were really mean, get someone to put something on the inside of your arch and keep that foot flexed and aligned. Super intense. Relax. And my favorite stretch here is hand to toe, reclining hand to toe. But I might grab my inner knee flesh and open. I might bend it if this is killing you. Some of you I know can bring hand to toe. Some of you may go extended. You're going to listen to your body. This is one of the few times when we throw alignment to the wind. And side child's pose. And then let's do the other side. Oh, let's see how this side works. So, I'm going to get that book ready. Left hand supporting my head. Right hand is tented in front. And I'm going to attempt to lift this book. Feet are pointing forward. Belly's engaged, thighs are engaged. I'm feeling that relationship between all the muscles working together. So I can go up or forward and back. You decide. I am feeling this today. I think I slept too deeply. And let it go. Side child's pose. Another version. Right foot high, left foot high. Where's the dumpling? Flex, and you can either go up and down or stay still, or have somebody put something on the outer ankle, or add the arms, hands free, double chopsticks. You could hold a block between your hands and between your ankles. Undo, side child's pose. And if there are any of these you love, please pause me and come back to it. Last one, left leg extends. I'm on the outer left blade of my foot. Right foot bends in front. This hip is definitely more comfortable than the other one. I'm gonna stack that knee, lift the left under leg, flex, and I can pulse or try to, what's my range of motion, to rise. You could even have somebody put something on the inner left arch for you. Oh my, and I'm noticing my glutes, my quads, and then undo, side child's pose. And one last one, extended legs, hand to toe, whatever you want to grab. Throwing our alignment to the wind. This feels really good. This does not necessarily have to be what it looks like in your body. And slowly come on out. Let's work on our gate. The gate pose we often will do with a block. We're going to first explore it without a block, and then I'll show you what it looks like if you had a can of apple juice, a stack of books, a block. I know some of you have said you already have blocks. So I'm going to come onto my knees. Let's do a quick quad stretch here. Zombie arms, with a block or without in your hands, leaning all the way back. I'm squeezing my thighs together, belly engaged. How far back can I go? Now my bum is on my heels. Knees are still rooted down. Can you come back up? So it's almost like a seated awkward pose. Flex. So I could go up and down and do that a few times, and I'm noticing my back, lower back, glutes, quads have to turn on. Option to take your hands behind you. Then we're going to come into our gate pose. So let's take left leg out. I'm not going to use the blocks. Palms to the sky, reach up. And I want these hands to be holding that imaginary beach ball. My knee is rooting down on the right side, and there's a length of energy going all the way up. So I can stay here. I can drop my left hand and arc, starting. Now this variation, I've got my body weight on my leg. If I can reach the floor, it's even safer, even better. Blocks. Reach up and arc. So I'm the same direction as my long mat. And then come on out, and then the last piece, right palm down, left foot flex, lift. So I can be here, I call this my superstar, or take that bicep over my ear, palm down, lengthen, or hand to the base of your neck, open the elbow to the ceiling and look up. Some of you might also bring it to your hip or behind your back. Undo, child's pose. And then we want to do the other side. So, coming on my knees. In this case, my feet are untucked. My toes are pointing, kind of pressed together, and that's activating my calves and quads in a different way. Inhale up, exhale, sit back. Wow, this way is easier. Hold that little ball, engage your core. How far can you sit back without falling? Thighs pressed together, knees root down. Oh. So you could come up and down in this in a couple times. Option to go deeper, hands behind you. We've done this one throughout the week. Knees root down, press your pelvis away, look up to the ceiling. And then come back down. So, next version, the gate. We're gonna do it without the block. Palms in the sky, reach up, lengthen through those fingers, thighs are together, engage your core. Right leg out, reach up, and I'm either gonna arc and go this way. I don't have to go very far if I'm tight. Some of you might come to the floor. Foot might be flexed or pointed. And some of you might take your blocks inside that right calf, pretty close to the calf, and arc this way. One may feel better to you than the other. Coming back upright, left hand down, fingers point forward. Flex the right foot like when we're doing bird dog, right arm in the sky. Reach up, or bicep over the ear, palm down. So now I'm reaching long, or hand at the base of my skull, look up, shoulders are stacked. Or arm behind you, nestle that arm into the left side of your body. Undo, child's pose. So I think I'll wait to hear back from you guys if you want to do even more legs next week. I have a funny feeling if the weather's beautiful, you're all probably going to be gardening a lot. So you want to be careful and mindful of your body, especially if there's muscles you haven't used in a while. I know last year I took a little step stool. I have a Rubbermaid one and a Dollarama one. And I sat them in my garden so that when I was working on the garden, I wasn't putting pressure on my knees or crouching down too much. It's a lot easier. So what card is today? Oh, I think we've done this one. Examine your personal interactions. Okay, well, actually no, we're gonna do this one. Today is notice that special person, and it's a picture of a woman in the forest. On this day, let's see if I can come closer to you. On this day, take notice of someone whom you've previously ignored. That person is your teacher, your special angel, and he or she will do or say something that you've been waiting for, just because you're suddenly recognizing the beauty of them and their spirit. So maybe it's on a walk, you avoid a certain house, you avoid a certain person that you just won't want to get involved with. I often will ask myself, what is it about that interaction that I'm avoiding? And today they're telling you, go ahead, have that interaction, acknowledge that person, and maybe something good will come out of it that you've been avoiding. Your goal is to see that everyone is capable of helping you heal, and vice versa. That interconnectivity, can you find it? Maybe a grumpy person at the grocery store, maybe a neighbor that you've kind of avoided throughout all this. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. The good in me sees the good in you. Namaste.